They know you. They find information.
Yes. What is happening? I have to react, so it's now or never.
Too good to be true.
When we talk about institutions and regulators, they do not do that. They are full of trust in everything that they see online.
What is more, of course, AI.
PIN, your password, your card number. When we do not react, then we leave room for them. Usually victims feel ashamed. Our critical thinking is our most powerful shield.
And when we think, there is a likeliness that we can save our money and private data. What is a digital fraud?
Well, we have to simplify that. If we talk about digital fraud for the audience, we can say that digital fraud can happen through SMS, through online content, some calls. There is different ways how to approach, and everyone can be a victim. So if you are a most cautious person in the world, you can be a victim. And what makes a difference? If you react. And latest survey shows that more than 92%, I think, of the people fall into the fraudulent scam. When we talk about institutions and regulators, we always talk about what regulators should do, but basically what is important that we give a message to the regular customer, to the end users to understand, not to be so distant regulators, but to be involved and to inform them. That's why I think this is so important.
And here you touched one good point. NRAs, in general, other authorities are making a lot and putting a lot of efforts to combat fraud. However, it's not only about the efforts that are made by authorities. Being aware about the fraudulent activities and that completely everyone can be tricked is crucial to understand and to feel safer in digital space.
Yes, before we go into deeper subject, we can say, just think before you click. So fraudsters usually use urgency, manipulation, fear, or some kind of promise that you will get some kind of easy money. And basically, they rely on you to not be aware of what you click and not to use your critical way of thinking. Because when you stop a little bit and think, what is the source? Did I expect this source? Do I know who sent it? And if I want to achieve something emotionally, quickly and urgently, then it is like a field for fraudulent activities. Don't you agree?
Indeed, it's manipulation. Being it, you have to respond, you have to react quite quickly, and that is the basis for fraudsters to act and to get benefits from regular people. So it is their way of doing criminal activities, and we should be critical when we receive that information, when we receive a call, and if it is urgent, if we require to react immediately. Indeed, you have to think, and think before you click. And what is more, I like it to be aware of, sometimes if it is too good to be true, probably it is fake, it is a scam, and you are targeted as a victim of fraudulent activities. So be aware of those actions, because everyone can be targeted, regardless of their position, regardless of their activities, and regardless even of financial situation, because every penny matters to fraudsters, and every victim can give them money, even in a small amount.
Legal institution and legislative institution, they don't usually ask you your PIN, your password, your card number through SMS or through regular calls. They do not do that.
We all receive postal items, and we are usually reached out by couriers. So we have to be cautious whether we are not scammed by this way, by fraudsters pretended to be postal service providers when they reach out and provide you a link via SMS, which leads to fake website, which gathers data or even bank account information. So be careful with that as well.
I think that frauders count on you not to react, because usually victims feel ashamed. They are like feeling maybe stupid why they reacted. But as we already said, and you emphasized it, everybody can be a victim. And it doesn't matter, okay? Something happened, maybe you got stressed or even some kind of financial losses. But what you do afterwards matters, because you have to report it. That is important, and we will go deeper into it. But one small step from you can lead to some big improvements in this era. And what we all have to do is to make room for that people who are victim of the fraudulent activities not to be blamed and not to be shamed, and just praise them, because when they report something, then they gather valuable information for the institutions.
And here you touched one very important thing. When we usually talk about fraud, we usually provide some statistics, some data, and so on, and we barely understand that behind every case of fraud, the victim hides there with their emotions,
Yes.
with that feeling of shame, as you said. At final stage, financial loss is usually the result of fraud. Yes. And even the small amount, maybe it's only, you could say that it is only a small amount for the people who lost something, but reporting is crucial because it provides information to authorities to understand how to deal with the fraudsters, how the crime itself evolved, and
to spot patterns.
Yes, because what we have observed through our experience regarding fraudulent activities, usually the measures to combat fraud is reactive. So, however, sadly, but it is, and when the authorities get to know how fraudsters react and how they make crimes, they find something else and they improve. What is more, of course, AI. Nowadays, everyone uses that, and fraudsters are no exceptions. And
it's getting sophisticated.
And how it is difficult, for instance, to understand. For instance, we all watch memes, and sometimes it is difficult to understand that, for instance, the photo you are seeing, that it is fake. The same goes with the use of AI in fraudulent activities. You can receive a call from your...
It is a cloned call, cloned voice.
From the number that you assumably know, and the voice might even sound like your mother or father or a friend, and then you might fall for victim in that case, and for instance provide money to the people you don't know.
And it happened.
Yes.
And it happened to people that I know already. And you have AI-generated visuals also. It's so difficult now because everything is so sophisticated. And You know what we also mentioned already, but we have to emphasize: technology is important. Technology, frauders, they use technology, but they use psychology also. And when we do not react, then we leave room for them. That is important. And what is also important, that for the victims, which you already said, they feel stressed, and we all have to think twice when we talk with them. If we are from some kind of authority, all the procedure for reporting the fraudulent activities from the victims should be clear, should be simple. For them to just report maybe anonymously without providing any data. But everything is important. So every little detail, if you don't think that it's so important, okay, it happened to me and I feel like a victim, but if you react, you're not only protecting yourself, you are protecting everybody in the future. And you have to think that it is organized cybercrime. It is not only that, okay, it's a little fraudulent activities.
Yeah.
It can lead to who knows what.
Yes.
So every step counts.
People usually think that usually elderly is targeted more. However, maybe it is the case that they report more, and due to those emotional reasons, feeling shamed, embarrassed, the ones who consider themselves smart enough, maybe they suffered financial losses and fallen victims, but did not report due to those reasons. So if you have fallen a victim, it's not a shame to be a victim. It is the fraudsters who targeted you, but not you should be ashamed of.
Yes, they are ones to be shamed. And you know, less than 3% of the people even report that fraudulent activities.
So that is the issue,
yes.
And for authorities to understand how the fraudsters behave and how they evolve is crucial. Hence, we should focus and should increase the numbers, but this should require the actions from the victims. So do not feel ashamed.
Yes,
You
and I
are
think,
not. You are not responsible for the activity. The criminals who are behind the scams and fraudulent activities are the villains.
And our critical thinking is our most powerful shield. We don't have to forget about it. So our critical thinking and to be aware, and to report, that is the most important thing. And also not to forget children are most youngest users. So children are online all the time. We have to emphasize that. And we have to talk with them, explain them, because you know they are full of trust in everything that they see online. So we have to talk with them, and of course there are some parental control, and you can inform with your operator how to deal with it. But when we are somewhere working, our children are in the room, and maybe we think they are safe there, but
they are not.
They are online.
Yes,
they are online.
Even playing games, you can be targeted. So be critical,
be aware,
be informed.
Yes.
Yeah. And report if anything from what we mentioned happened to you.
So national regulatory authorities in member states are dealing with these fraudulent activities, and they are doing so many to try to prevent this action. It usually is caller ID identification or some kind of register for the SMS sender ID. So there are a lot of forms that we can react. We said it's not only the technology, but what we have to emphasize is that nobody has the whole picture. And usually these fraudulent activities are cross-border, cross-sectoral. So every part in this value chain matters. So it is the institution, it is the financial sector, it is operators. Usually operators filter and regulators enable, and we have platforms, we have banks that have to enforce something. And usually that fraudulent activities start in one country and then goes through jurisdictions, then goes through sectors. So everybody has to know their role in that whole value chain. And what is important to mention here is the berec initiatives, that we are the platform that can gather all the actors and exchange the knowledge, because we already have a know-how. We have to communicate, and berec use its platforms to gather everybody to talk about it and to align practices and to speed up legislation enforcement and, in a way, prevent legal loopholes.
Yes, about those legal loopholes, I could also add that it's not always the case that NRAs has powers to deal with fraudulent activities and to combat it. It varies across countries, but we are indeed very happy to see the progress in this, that countries, from country to country, we see that NRAs take more and more actions, and not only to deal with the misuse, which is regular activities, but also to deal with the fraudulent activities, which are beyond the use of numbering resources. And as you said, it indeed requires cooperation among authorities within the country and of course, internationally. And because if your neighbors are taking actions, then you might become a bottleneck, and where fraudsters would find a way to work and to target victims from your country. None of the countries would be willing to do that and to be the one who would be related or said that they allow or they basically set the scene for fraudsters to act.
I think it's good that we talk about it and that we share this content. So we invite everybody to share what they hear now, because we have to increase the people who know about these things. We can say, okay, some fraudulent activities are somewhere out there, but it's not. It's happening here. And it happens all the time, every day. And we have all that knowledge, but if we do not know what our neighbor is doing, other institution in the value chain, then we cannot do it. And the fraudulers are counting on that.
Yes.
To that loopholes, and for us not to react, and of course to people feeling shamed, as we already said. So they are just waiting and adapting how to move forward. And we have to be quick, and we have to have legislation that is harmonized, but also it has to be flexible enough to, as you said, not only to react, but to prevent. That is like the whole case. And you have to adapt very quickly, because they're moving very fast.
That's the most difficult part.
I know.
To understand the patterns and the trends. And,
yes.
And here we should not rely only on NRAs, because NRAs are expertise in electronic communication sector. But here we see the value chain where, for instance, banking authorities are involved, where enforcement is also crucial to understand the organized crime. So here we have to acknowledge and emphasize the need for cooperation of national authorities, of international, but not within the sector, but in the whole value chain.
And that's why the berec initiatives are so important. We are talking about victims. You are falling like a victim or feeling like a victim or stressed out. But if you see some content that is maybe you think it's a fraudulent activity, or if you heard about it, you don't have to be a victim. You can report it. If you notice something that is odd, that is urgent, like transfer, big, quick, don't forget, it's too late. So what if you are in the middle of that situation? If it is a call, you have to stop communicating immediately, report as we said, and of course you have to change your password and maybe see your security settings, and of course always use maybe two-step authentication. There are a lot of things that you can do, and you can inform yourself about it. You have your national authorities to give information to you, or your operators, of course. You can gain information from them what to technologically do.
Yes, what it is also important that do not share any of your information, especially if you receive an SMS and have a link there which might lead you to some fake website. My advice, go directly to the official website and check information there. If you receive a call that might sound suspicious, end the call and contact the official contacts that are provided in the official websites. It usually helps, and usually the experts who work in those in authorities, whether it would be postal service providers, whether it would be bank, they usually already know the pattern, and they could advise and they could cross-check if you have been reached out by them.
And if you look at the link, it seems innocent, usually innocent, but you can look for a small, like something is wrong with the grammar, but now it's getting even better, like they are getting better in the grammar. But you already said, if you get some kind of link from some authority maybe, or the bank, or you think that you get it from the bank or airline company, and they ask you to provide the data, just step back, read, and click the close button and call your bank.
As we mentioned, they use urgency, so please step back and think whether it is really true. Maybe sometimes it is true, but that
it's better to check.
It's better
to check.
And also, what we also saw from the experience, when people are targeted, they can, the fraudsters can even use your names. They know you. They find information about you.
Yes.
So do not fall for that if you are called by name, that they definitely...
They sound intelligent, like they know about the subject.
And they use
I was targeted also, but okay, I noticed that they talk so polite. They told me about some kind of easy money that I can get, and I can have an account, and he will be a broker and something like that. And they usually use the so intelligent language. So you are like, what is happening? I have to react. So it's now or never.
Yeah, and they also use something from national experience. In our country, sometimes we are reached out by Google, for instance, claiming that our account might be
Yes.
taken over, or we should
React
connect.
immediately.
Yes.
You
But
will lose all the data.
in my case, they talk not in Lithuanian, but another language. So that is also something that might suggest you that maybe they are not the ones they are claiming they are.
So if you feel that something is odd, that you are manipulated, just step back. Just step back and just think about it a little bit. Because when we think, it is our strongest shield, as we already said.
Yeah. And when we think, there is a likeliness that we can save our money and private data.
And the money for the future, for the maybe potential victims. Always think you are not the one to feel ashamed. Those one who do fraudulent activities are to be ashamed. It's a cybercrime, and we have to acknowledge it. It's a cybercrime.
Yes. And those fraudsters, they might be in other flat or apartment, but at the very same time, they can be completely in a different part of the world. So no borders, but every case is shows that you can be targeted.
Yes, and be aware and report. If you think it's small, it's not. It can lead to bigger damages.
And think before you click.
Yes.